Okay, got it. Okay. So, me, Ross, is a member of Ikebana International, the Seattle chapter, and we've been working with her this year, and she's this morning going to give a display of some basic Ikebana arrangements and have some information for us. And we will continue to have images from her and other members of Ikebana International Seattle chapter and Tacoma, maybe Tacoma too, in our newsletter for you to use as you will to create some new sumi paintings that include some of these beautiful arrangements. Okay, Mia, you are on whenever you're ready to start.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for coming to the meeting and as well as presentation. My name is Mia Ross. All the information is actually in the newsletter, but I just gotta go over briefly. I came to the United States in 1991, and I started Ikebana about 2002. So I've been studying for over 20 years. And what is Ikebana is the history-wise. Ikebana tradition was started about 7th century. Um, that is offering flower for Buddhist temple by monk. And then later on, those flower was placed in alcove. In the 16th century, Ikebana has been flourished. Then there's some schools established at the time and still going on, like Ikenobo and then like Senke. It's very traditional school. And my school is called Sogetsu. My founder, Teshigahara Sofu, his father was actually Ikenobo's practitioner. But Sofu wanted to create the Ikebana for not just the alcove, just out from the alcove to become a more artistic side. So he established a school, and his motto is to Ikebana can be created by any time, anywhere, by anyone with any kind of material. So our style is started from basics, just like a old traditional school, but to become more installations on a stage or a museum or all different kind of places. So I'm starting with the traditional style, a very basic style, step by step. But after that, I will show you more, um, let's say, Soviet style. It's more freestyle. So I have today 5, 6 total to show you. Okay. So what would this is a flat base that's used for all basics. Go suiban. I have a water in there, and then we do use kenzan. If you don't, you know, kenzan is like a needle frog, and so get to use this sun and moon. So I don't think you can see it.
Yes.
Um, okay. So actually, this usually put the all the material. This could be the weight. So if this get heavy, still this will kind of weight down. So this won't fall. So let's start. So the very basic. I'll put Kenzan. Even though we have a place for each form. So this is the number one basic style. So Kenzan will be, I'm also arranging from the back. So Kenzan will be on your left. And we have some rules. So this is a branch. I have a couple branches and a couple branches and a couple of flowers. Actually, 3 stem flowers. So we measure the depth of the container width of the container, which is about that, and then half of that to add to the addition to the stem. So this length perfect for this base. And then cutting stem under the water will last the plant absorb the water, so it will last longer. And before I put, so from Kenzan use, we have 3 main branches. So one branch, second branch, third one is usually flower. The triangle is very important for the basics. So here's the one in the top corner. And when you look at the branches, you're gonna have to kind of see which is better look, because this one is definitely back side. This one is front side. So I'll put that firmly and actually 15 towards your shoulder, left shoulder. And second branch is a third of this, 3/4 of this length. 3/4. So we another tip of the triangle point, and this will go to 45 degrees towards you. And third one is the flower. That's also 3/4 of the second branch. It goes another triangle point, and this goes to 75 degrees. Okay, then I will put some more flowers. That's also 3/4 of the length, between maybe second and third stems. And another third with another flowers. So, and then it's a little still bare, so we add the subordinate branch to make a depth of the arrangement. Like we put in the back of the stem, back of the main stem. And also we wanted to kind of hide the kenda. Put some the too bare. So on first basic style. This is the finish. And I'll put it here. Now I'm
Just lovely.
thank you. Let me clean up a little bit. if it's a big sensei, usually assistant will do this, or the cleanup. I'm alone. Actually, today my husband to be husband is home, happened to be, so he's helping me out to do this demo because I have 5 more to go. Okay. So hopefully, like springtime. I was thinking about spring. But I love this purple base. I don't know if you can see this. So I'm gonna emphasize this base, this color. So of this silver, not fern, but the beautiful, gorgeous, very full, like a baby breath, but it's not baby breath. So I'm putting all those. To action. Ooh.
What is that plant that you're putting in there?
Oh, this one?
Yes.
This sorry, I forgot the name, but silver. I have to actually check it. I just don't my list that I just forget right now. So sorry about that. But I will send you guys the material list, and then you will know. It's kind of because I went to usually if I do Ikebana class, like I'm still going to my teachers. I go to regular Safeway or those places to buy flour, and so I don't usually see this flour. But since I went to a wholesale,
Oh,
yeah, so that's the big difference. That's why I can't. I have so many ideas because when I go to wholesale, I go crazy.
mhm.
There's so many pretty flowers, which I usually don't get.
Yeah.
So this flowers kind of work as like a kenzan. So I don't need to basically this is really free throwing. I don't put any kenzan in there.
Is that a kind of calla lily?
Yes, it's colored, just a purple colored lily.
It's beautiful against that silver.
Yes. And just a white accent. the one. So this is quite big, so I'm gonna have to.
And what style is that?
It's also oh, this is freestyle. So yeah, basic is I only did one, and all the other would be a freestyle.
So these are just different forms of sogetsu then, is that right? Freestyle and, yeah.
Yeah, style is basically basic style and the freestyle. So what I'm gonna do from now on will be all freestyle. And the first one is the basics. So there's all kind of different form of freestyle. So some of our like emphasize container, emphasize the line, emphasize mass. Of course, you can mix them up everything and create your own basically arrangement. So this is the arrangement. And then also the materials probably it's different than maybe at other schools. So both failed. So it's a regular full scale, but do this. I will take a picture of each one of them and bring that up.
Where do you get a vase like that you can
Yes,
stick
the
them in?
basic, yeah, another element, very important element, because you can make so many different things by different base.
On the dimensions of the height of the horsetail, how many times the horizontal over the base?
It's how many times? Oh, actually, this is totally freestyle, so there is no rules. Once
Okay.
it goes freestyle, the first style is the basic, which has a length, not restriction, but the rules. But goes to the freestyle, you can do whatever you
Okay.
like.
Thank
Mie, do you have a needle holder in the bottom of that vase?
Yes, I do. I do. Let me show you. Here.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yep. There's another one on the other side. So the straight is not so much fun. So I'm gonna make fun of it. So it will stay. So I put the wire in the hostel, so that's what it can make a shape like this. Here's this is asparagus leaf. That will stay. So I put this some other materials. Yeah, no, just tissue. So sometimes I cut the, this was actually daisy stem. Sorry, I just cut myself. Hold on.
This is flower arranging. Since the stem is so tiny, they won't even stay in the, stick them in the needle point. So I put the tiny stem into other stem, so it will stay in the kintama. Oh,
Yeah. So all kinds of tricks.
maybe your assistant can get you a Band-Aid.
Have to go, just put it back.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice, just as it is. It's got some nice direction.
Now I'm back.
Did you say that you put wires inside the horse? And
Tail?
inside the frame?
Yep. So it hostel can bend, but it won't stay like
Yeah.
shape. And I have kangaroo paw. It's also just to, add the color to a bottom. So maybe I'll
Nice.
have to put it this way for the moment. I need a space.
Mia, did you say you would take a picture of each of these for us?
Yep.
Good. Thank
So
you.
after everything is done, I'll take a few of them and then send you guys.
Great.
It's kind of interesting shape of a vase. Actually, I got like a second-hand store. And
You got that at a secondhand store?
Oh yeah, I go secondhand store all the time.
Beautiful.
What an amazing face.
Yes. So also forget to oops, a little different way. Oh, sorry. So aspidistra. Yes, this is a fun material to use. You can roll it, staple it, tape it. I'm using the tape, double-sided tape to stay in the shape. Right. This is the willow, but then not. It's corkscrew. It's not corkscrew, but then willow with the kind of tormented surface.
Now, do you have anything in the bottom of that vase, or is it just the vase?
Actually, I do. There is the crisscross little branches in there, so it will hold the material better. Stay.
And can you talk to the magic of three? How
Number
important
three.
three, the magic of three.
I guess it's a balance, not four. That's what I mean. It doesn't need to be three. The basics needs to be three, but then this is a freestyle. But I chose to use three flowers. It could be one. It could be two.
But three is best.
For this one, yes, I would think so. So here's the kind of small, but yeah, here's the Spidistra and Gower Daisy and the willow.
Just beautiful.
Thank you. So this glass vase doesn't have any crisscross because it's tiny neck.
So I have a monstera, and very nice monstera. I have a mimosa or solidago. And kind of make it to bend like this, not breaking it.
It must be a wonderful creative process when you go shopping for the flowers.
Yeah.
When you see a certain kind of flower, does that automatically help you visualize what you want to do with it?
You know, yes and no. Sometimes I just like to buy flowers to kind of, you know, try out. Because like I say, I usually don't go to wholesale. And when I go there, it's just like, you know, candy store. I want to do everything to, you know. So this is, you know, emphasize this surface of the monstera, but I wanted to add, I like to add this type of a line. So it will go towards the sky. Here's here's the one.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. This one.
They're so beautiful in their simplicity.
Thank you.
It's kind of like in Sumi, when we try to achieve the essence of something with the fewest number of strokes. You're essentially doing the same thing with your ikebana. You are using the simple approach to create something magnificent.
Right, right. That is so true. That, you know, the second one was close to the Western style, because there's a lot of flowers and you know, calla lily, and but many of them are it's emphasizes, you know, mass and line and space. So our flower arrangement is not like a Western flower arrangement. Like Western flower arrangement doesn't have any space. Everything is basically flower branches, you know, bundled together. You know, or everything is basically mass and then different flowers. So we don't do that often, but we do have a practice as a mass. So we create the mass with flower, or sometimes create with branches, and then, you know, having a line like the last one, I have a kind of mass because monstera and then solidago and the monstera is kind of mass, but I wanted to have some line, so it'll make some space to see, you know, line, your eye goes up, just not just a mass. So it always has different elements in the ikebana. So this is my last one. This is actually, I create this vase at the Northwest Pottery. Usually I use this way, but why not using this way? There's just a little bit, you know, water there. So here's the vertical side, because this, you know, vase is kind of unique. So why not use that uniqueness? to the arrangement. And again. It's very simple, but here is the last arrangements.
That's wonderful. I have a question for
Sure.
you. Do you have a mirror there so you can see how it looks? It must be very challenging to try and do this arrangement when you're in back of it.
Oh, no, I have a mirror.
Because
I
you know, you
practice.
can't see what we're seeing,
Right.
our view.
Yes, so this is the probably only one school that is the arranged from the back.
Ah,
Other school you probably don't do that. Or it's too crowded here. But the Sogetsu, yeah, we do from arranging from the back. So, getting yes. So, any questions?
Oh,
Hi, Mia. I have one question.
Sure.
Yeah, the very last vase,
Yeah.
there's water in there, right?
Yes, very little. because
Very
it-
little? Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
it's
kept turning it around. So I thought, doesn't the water spill? Where's the water?
this that I have a Kenzan in here,
Uh-huh.
and then also just this much water. So the stem is actually under the water.
Oh,
on the
okay.
bottom.
Because I thought when you twirled it, I thought maybe the Kenzan would also kind of like make a sound, you know, rolling around and all that. It was like magic. Yeah.
That's right. Well, yeah, so guess we do a lot of magic.
Yeah.
So like the wire in the hostel, you can't really see it.
Uh-huh. Do you
That's
put
what
the
we-
wire inside the plant, the stalk?
Yes, hostel. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really neat.
Yeah. So any flower like Michael's, they do cut
Uh-huh.
wire for the flower area. I just got it yesterday actually, and then
Oh,
yeah, just because the hostel, all the what they call this
stem?
connections. Yeah, they're they have some material, but you can poke through it.
Oh,
So very easy to actually
Oh,
put the wire in.
yeah. And those are really long and sturdy, you know.
Yes, because I
Yeah.
have actually 2 wires because one length is not enough.
Oh,
So yeah, you put I put from the top and then from the bottom, and then actually
oh,
the lengthwise is enough for this hostel. But sometimes actually hostel could be really tall because
uh-huh.
my friend has a hostel about like this high, my almost shoulder height.
Wow.
If you want to use that, then you actually put the wire from the middle,
Uh-huh.
close those connections, and then another wire. So it could be 2, 3 wires
Oh, okay.
to make arrangement like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mia, we have a question from Sally Filio. She wants to know if you ever listen to music while you're arranging.
I'm sorry, music?
Do you ever listen to music while you're arranging?
Not really. Actually, I'm doing quiet place or quiet Yeah, usually I don't listen. And then usually, I'm in a class with sensei and another student. So, sometimes we talk, but when you do it, it's kind of like a really concentrated making, what do I do, And then sometimes you can't put the scissor because you're just not satisfied. So I don't know. Yeah, I should maybe try that.
So,
Do you guys do that?
I know I do in my studio. I turn on some soft classical guitar or something, some yo-yo ma or something that
Oh,
is
yeah.
really calming. And I find that when I'm writing or doing sumi, it really centers me.
Oh, okay. That's great. I mean, I always wanted to actually learn sumi. And so I'm so happy to actually present this to you guys. And actually, my question, do you guys teach somewhere?
Yeah.
We do have some of our very talented members are teachers.
Okay.
And we can certainly provide you with that information. If you get our newsletter, we can share our newsletter with you. Usually Alice at the back of the newsletter lists the classes that our members are teaching.
Oh, okay. But it's in Tacoma area?
Tacoma and Lois is in Seattle, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm really know Seattle, so.
Well, right now, I think Lois is teaching online.
Yes,
Oh,
on
right.
Zoom.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think Yuming also sometimes he will have online classes too.
Mhm.
Okay, great.
But
Thank you
those
for-
are all listed in the newsletter, so you can explore what you want to do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will take a picture and then send it to Dorothy.
Thank you very much.
Great.
so
Wonderful work.
Mie,
Yes.
I have this old Japanese flower frog. It's the shape of a turtle, but what would you, how do you use something like that just with branches? It's got,
I'm going to replace the spotlight so we can
Oh.
see what you're talking about there.
okay.
Like a shape of an oval or something like that.
Yes,
turtle.
and it's a turtle and it's, I assume for flowers.
Oh, okay. Let me go over there. Because I can see my phone is tiny. Oh, okay. Yes, they do. Yeah, other school uses that type of I think it's not really Kenzan, but yeah, they usually have a Kenzan and then you can put those on top. So the actually stem will be, oops.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Stem will be stay there, but just with that, it's slippery. But you can do that. You can put the stuff, branches or the flower in that hole. But then you wanted to have some non-slid rubber things, or even the tissue paper would probably work on some shallow tray, suiban like that.
Okay.
But then, could be like a flat surface to work with.
Okay, thank you.
Now, the rest of you that are still muted, if you'd like to ask a question, just unmute yourself and
Please.
see if you have any more questions. Alice?
Yes, I have a question for these ikebana arrangements. Do people put anything in the water to make them last longer?
Usually no. That's why we cut the stem under the water. That's one of the technique that flower would last longer. But honestly, you could, just that we don't usually.
Oh.
So yeah, it's just natural water and cut under the water, and then that will last a little longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mie, I have another question.
Sure.
Yeah, is there Ikebana classes around anywhere? Tacoma,
Yes.
Seattle?
Yes. Of course, the Tacoma chapter would probably know the teacher around the Tacoma area.
Uh-huh.
And our Seattle area, Seattle chapter has the teacher from basically South Seattle to like a Bellingham, and so it's a more north side. But then we do have a teacher from different schools.
Oh, okay. How about Sogetsu? Do you know any other persons teaching?
Yep. We have a lot of teachers. No, I don't say a lot of, but yeah, we do have a teachers in Kirkland, and people teach in Seattle, and
Anybody like around Federal Way?
Federal Way.
You know, Francis, if you go to the exhibition at Tacoma Community College on May 11th and 12th, is it, Kathy? That is sponsored by the Tacoma chapter, so you could probably get the information that you want there.
Oh, okay.
And
Great.
that information will be in the newsletter,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes.
or was in the newsletter. Was it, Alice? Did we already publish that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I've got a question.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming that in normal times that you folks have meetings on a regular basis.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a one. Yeah. Thursday, first Thursday, is a board meeting, and then regular meeting is also just happened last week on Tuesday. Oh no, Thursday. Yes, we now have a person to person meeting.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Person. Yes.
Okay. So
It
have
will
you
be good. Mhm.
have you been having Zoom meetings?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
All year, yeah, all through until like this month, we
Uh-huh.
were doing a Zoom meeting.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And did you have demonstrations at your meetings or?
Some people do, and it's not everybody. Every time is different, and then we do also have a program.
Mhm.
So last program was a kimono program.
Mhm.
So
Ooh.
yeah, we should have you guys to come to the program too.
Yay!
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 I think this is just the beginning of a
Yes.
very nice relationship with
Yes.
your group. We're
Oh.
very excited about our Ikebana challenge and creating some sumi paintings of these gorgeous arrangements. They're just so perfect for the kind of things that we do.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody.
Can we could all unmute and give you a really good hand of thank you.
That would be good.
Thank
Can I
you.
share
Thank
something?
Much. Beautiful.
Can I share something with Mie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this goes back early 70s. I took Sogetsu. I was in Okinawa at the time, and I had a friend. She was Japanese, Americanized, just like you. And she kind of reminds me of you. And anyway, she asked me one day if I'd like to join her. So I said yes, and she took me to Sogetsu.
Oh, okay.
So when I went there, the teacher, she was from Japan, and she moved to Okinawa, and she was teaching flower arrangement. So when I went there, we all got a notebook,
Oh, okay.
and it says Sogetsu, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a S,
Oh,
a O, and a G,
yes.
E, and T,
SU.
S, like that, Sogetsu. And so this is a notebook,
Uh-huh.
and it tells, I can't show it very well because of the screen, but it shows the basics of Sogetsu, you know, and like when you showed the basic, you know, the fundamental,
Okay.
well, I'm sorry, I can't. Anyway,
That was okay.
you know, the first stem you put in, and then the second stem, and then the third, which was a flower.
Yep.
Okay, that's the basic. And so
Exactly.
it shows in the notebook, there's the you know, upright, fundamental upright, you know,
Yep.
when you put the stems. And then there's also the fundamental steps of slanting it.
Yep. Yes.
And then there's the freestyle.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was very interesting. And she also, the teacher also said it's important that there's free space, you know, when you arrange it. Like you said, the Western type is sort of like a bouquet, whereas the Ikebana Sogetsu, anything, has a lot of space.
Right.
I was looking at my notebook and looking at some of the pictures that I did, okay? And I'm looking at the angles, you know, from the center, 10 degrees
Yep.
for the first stem.
Right.
And the second step was like 45 degrees. And then the third, which was the flower, was like 75 degrees.
Yeah,
And I was
first-
looking at my picture, the drawing, and I couldn't understand it because it didn't look like 75%. And then I found out in looking at the notes, you can look from the top, looking down
Yep.
also, and you can
Right.
do the, you know, the angles that way too.
Right. It's sometimes the books are 2-dimension.
Mhm.
I mean, even though they try to write 3-dimension, still the, you know, looking at the actual is very different.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
didn't
that's-
know, yeah. And like you were saying, you could do it from the back, you know, that was kind of interesting too. Yeah, because when I was doing it from the front. I'm looking at it and putting the stems in and the flowers and looking from my view. And
Yep.
then when you're ready to show you know,
Yep.
you're ready to turn it around and show everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
to get to people, yeah, we do arrange from the back. That's the normal
oh, okay. And
things
then
for us to learn.
okay, yeah. And then I have a vase that I used at the time. I have 2 of these.
Okay.
Oh,
And I
they're
can put
lovely.
Kenzan in there.
Uh-huh.
Kenzan in there. Oh, that's a chain, but I could put Kenzan in there, water, and then I can place it any way which I want, you know, to make the arrangements. You know, I can place it anywhere, use 2 of them, or I can use 1 of them.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If
So
it's
this
a-
was one of my favorite vases. I only went maybe a year.
Oh, okay.
It was so fun. You know, it just takes you to another level mentally, you know, and it really quiets down your I don't know, your mood or something. It
Yeah,
was very
usually-
calming.
I usually very, yeah, for that time, I concentrate the flower, so I kind of forget everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, I usually go to practice with my teacher after work. So I have so many stress from the work, but
Uh-huh.
once I get there and I start touching the flower, basically I just concentrate to the flower.
You just
and-
forget about everything, right?
Yes, exactly.
And then all these flowers I didn't know exist, you know, like the one in the orange vase you have, Garbella.
Yeah,
Well,
Gabriela.
that's the first time I ever saw that back in early 70. And that's one of my favorite flowers now, the Garbella.
Yeah, actually, Gabriela, you know, you could put the wire from the
Oh,
so it won't, you know, bend like this. You can.
oh, okay.
This one doesn't have it because it's pretty straight and then it's not welting or the, you know, doing
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But then, yeah, sometimes you could do that if it's, you know, kind of weighty
Oh, okay.
neck.
That's good to know.
You can put the wire in there. Yeah. So yeah, good to know that you know you took so
Yeah.
get
Yeah. I was looking at my notebook and there is a song. The Sogetsu has their own song.
oh,
That I don't know.
Yeah, and then the notebook has a graph.
Yeah. Graph.
So you
Okay.
could draw, whatever you learn in the
Okay.
in the
Yeah.
class.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I used to write every arrangement I made into the notebook.
Right.
Pencil in. Nowadays I'm so lazy, so I don't do that. I took a picture and then that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, 20 years, pretty long time, but I still enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
And last night I was thinking to what do I, make? You
Mhm.
still have to kind of practice or, put in your mind to how you do that. So it
Right.
was like the time I went to bed, it was like at 2 a.m.
Oh. Yeah.
That's fun, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I have an opportunity like this. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that, Francis.
Okay.
That's nice.
Thank you too.
Well, Dorothy,
Well, this was really amazing and really wonderful, and we look forward to seeing the photographs in our newsletter, and I want to remind people that we got a link from Ikebana International Seattle chapter that has 3 short videos at the bottom of the slides of the gorgeous Ikebana arrangements that are on that link. But these 3 little videos are about basic information about Ikebana, and I think that you'll really enjoy them. Mia does one of the
Oh, okay.
one of the little videos. So
Oh, okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's I think I usually do the store-bought bouquet.
yeah, you did
Yeah.
the store-bought bouquet from Safeway. Be sure you get some branches in it. Yeah. So
Yes, but make sure you have a branches. But like I said, sometimes they don't, and you can still use like just the flowers to make a basic style, as long as there's a kind of height there, and then your container is small, then you don't need big height. So,
right. Well, it's very inspirational, that link that you folks sent over, and I hope that our artists will use information from that and the pictures to create some really beautiful Sumi paintings, because there are many of the principles that are the same in both art forms. So thank you.
or it's just such a beautiful marriage
Yeah.
between Ikebana and Sumi.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
thank you. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to come back to all of you for a minute. And hold on a second here.
I need to get up.
It's not letting me change the, here we go, replace the spotlight. To see if anyone has anything they'd like to share, since we have committed to having a little sharing session at the end of our meeting.
I want to show my bamboo thing. Just a minute.
Want to show something? I have something that's not mine that I'd like to share because I was just so taken with it when I saw it. Let me come over here too. Can you see this?
Yes.
Is I don't know if any of you saw this, and I don't know where I picked it up. It was online, but I just thought that the technique here with the little bit of red in the Sumi was so unbelievably wonderful. I just wanted to share it. And the only detail, of course, are the whiskers and just the little tiny essence of ear. I just thought it was really a fun piece to look
That's
at.
really wonderful. Yeah.
Isn't it? And the technique, this is probably done very wet down here, and it did its own natural splay out here that just really made for a lovely effect.
Wonder how they got the white whiskers.
Pardon me?
I'm wondering how they got the white whiskers.
Probably with a squirrel hair brush and some white ink. I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
So they did overlay that.
Yeah.
David Berger would appreciate this.
Yeah. Yeah.
He paints black cats.
Right.
That is
Anyway, I
amazing.
just wanted to show that. And now
Yeah.
we'll come back to Dorothy.
I've got one. So I really got excited with those pictures that they sent and those little videos. And one of the things that really got me interested was that you could make things that were wiggly or not didn't have much strength, that you could augment their little stems by sticking them in something. And so me did that today, and I made an arrangement. Actually, I made two. I had just cut the tops off my rhubarb because it was going to go to seed, and discovered that rhubarb has blank. The stem was empty.
Hollow?
So I made this little arrangement that's out of my coffee table with using the rhubarb stem around these. Just a minute, I'll pull this thing over. This is a really tall vase, and I put this little wiggly flower that Melinda gave me a cutting of on my birthday when I was 80, and stuck it in the rhubarb stem, and that holds it up so that it doesn't fall over to the side of this really tall vase. And the arrangement that I made out in the living room had a flat vase, and it had one of those same kind of flowers, and so I just painted stuck it in the rhubarb so the flower would stand up, and did a little.
That's really nice, Dorothy.
It is.
Dorothy.
That's terrific.
That's
Yes.
That's beautiful. Is that one of the vases that you made when you were doing pottery?
No, that actually is a piece of giant timber bamboo.
Oh,
That was made into a vase that I picked up at a thrift store sometime when I lived in Corvallis and never had anything to do with it. Boy, I just went right out to my studio and pulled that thing in and put some water and I put two Kenzans in there so that I could put the leafy part down at one end. So anyway.
Well, make sure you send that to Alice for the newsletter.
Okay.
the yellow flower in your first arrangement you showed us, that's called the Japanese rose,
Rose,
or
right.
Caria.
Yeah, that was from my friend Melinda on my 80th birthday.
I don't remember that, but
I
probably.
mean, it's still alive?
Yeah, well, it was a cutting, and it had when she brought it, it was in it was a arrangement she brought from her house, but it had a little root on it, so I put it in a pot, and it's
Wow.
Yeah.
It
So you
rooted.
kept it alive.
Yeah.
Wow. I have a big bush of it in my yard.
It's just wonderful, especially when you put the stem in rhubarb.
Yeah, that's really genius. I'll have to grow a rhubarb patch now.
I think that the plant is getting a little nourishment from the stuff inside, the middle of
Could be.
Because it's been, that's anyway, so.
Wow.
That's terrific. And Melinda has black bamboo in her yard
Oh,
too.
Melinda has everything.
Which just makes me ooh and ah. And by the way, I'm teaching a class this summer on how to, if you remember, we made brushes with KC at a
Yes.
meeting a few years ago.
Yes.
I'm going to teach the same. We both learned from the same person. I'm going to teach making a brush and carving a chop. And Melinda is going to supply, and I'm going to send a kit to everybody who signs up for the class. But anyway, Melinda is supplying black bamboo for the craft, which will just be wonderful.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Melinda.
Ted is already out in the yard. He just ran right out there and said, "How long do you want to make them?" So he's already on that.
That's terrific. Anyway, so anybody else have anything to share for the good of the order? This is such a talented group.
Well, we hope that they will share some Ikebana things every month.
Yes, and if you have what you do with your Ikebana in the Ikebana challenge, make sure you send them to Alice so that we can share them in the newsletter.
Melinda, could you say again, Japanese rose, but you gave another name for your plant.
It's called Keria, Kerria.
Keria Japanese rose.
Ken Carrier?
No, Keria, just Kerria.
Carrier. Oh, Japanese rose or carrier.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
And I don't know if I can hold this up, but in my Ikebana book, here's a picture of an flower arrangement with Keria.
I see.
And it's just two, it looks like it's just two boughs.
Hold it up again, Melinda.
Hold it up again.
In front of your face. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Put your finger on it. There you go. Oh, that's
Wow.
great.
There.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I need to start making pots again.
The pots are really important.
I think you should too.
Well, it makes
really
me
make
want to
a
go to
difference.
Value Village and Goodwill and start scoping out some of these pots.
Right.
So where do the thing that they put the branch or whatever into, it's called a kenza?
Kenzan.
Kenzan.
Kenzen?
S. Ken.
Yeah, Kenzan.
Zan.
Zan.
Yeah.
And where do you get those?
You can buy them on Amazon
Oh,
if you want to buy a new one. But if you like to go to thrift stores, I've got boxes of.
A lot of antique stores have them too,
Yeah.
and they're not very expensive.
New they are. They're very expensive new.
Oh,
And some flowers don't like to be in steel, so they have them in brass and steel.
and glass. I've seen glass. My
Yeah.
mother had a glass one
Yeah.
with holes in it.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got one of those that I put brushes in.
Well, everyone, if we're about out of questions here or out of items to share.
I got one more.
Sally, I've got one.
Okay. Who said that? Who said I've got one?
Judy Walker.
Oh, Judy. Okay, let me find you. There you go.
I made an attempt to add edagami, and it didn't quite turn out the way I wanted, but I did the Ukraine. That means
lovely.
Cool.
glory to Ukraine, kind of like Vive la France, glory to Ukraine. That's a greeting they use when they meet each other.
Is that Ukrainian then, huh?
Yes, it is. It's in Ukrainian. I've gotten quite good with the Google translator lately, so it's been kind of fun.
No, I'm going to write that down because if we can come up with a way to share edagami with Ukrainian refugees, maybe some that are in centers in Poland or someplace like that, this would be a wonderful thing to put on it.
Yes, yes, it really would. And
So
for me,
thank you for sharing that. It's Ukraini.
Be sure you send a picture of that to Alice.
oh, okay.
Yes, please do. We'll put it in the newsletter. That's terrific.
Well, I wasn't really happy with, I have terrible writing, so the devil's always in the lettering for me. So that's why I'm taking all of your italic classes, Sally, so I can improve.
It looks just great to me.
And
Thank you.
I've got one more thing to remind you if you can't think of anything else to do with your Kenzans, this one is glass. And I've got the brushes and pins that I use on my Shoto table and my little squirt bottle for the to get the water for the ink. So,
Terrific. Multiple uses.
yeah.
Okay, well, thanks, everyone. This was a great meeting, and I really, really enjoyed the program, Dorothy.
Oh,
That was-
good.
Yes,
you.
thanks, Dorothy, for setting
Thanks,
this up.
Dorothy.
was
Thank
you.
terrific.
Well,
As we
Sally made the original contact, and Alice has been absolutely supportive. And Alice came up with the idea for the Ikebana challenge, which can keep us going on a regular basis, along with everything else that we do.
That's great.
Thanks. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
thanks, everyone, and stay safe, and we'll see you again in another month, if not before.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.